Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2017. Now, last week we took a look, well, since Friday from the week before actually, we've taken a look at a lot of the top contenders from the new GX Guardians Rising set, but I figured this week would be a good time to revisit some of the older decks that do gain a few extra tool cards that will hopefully allow them to compete. And Greninja, as you know, is one of my favorite decks, and between the new Field Blower and Choice Band, I do think Greninja might have a chance to make a comeback at some point in the future. Maybe not now, maybe in a little bit of time, but I did want to explore the deck, and that's why I'm going to talk about it today. As you know, Greninja, really good card, 130 HP, Shadow Stitching, 40 damage. To lock your opponent out of abilities. We are seeing a lot of Tapu Lele, we are seeing a lot of Shaman, we are even seeing Octillery making a comeback, we are seeing Manaphy, we have the CGI, we have Solgaleo GX, there's definitely a lot of abilities going around, so Shadow Stitching is a pretty good attack, and then you get Moonlight Slash for a solid 60 or 80 damage. Free retreat cost, obviously great, and then we have access to Greninja Break. Now, Greninja Break is really good because with its ability, by discarding a water energy, you can place damage counters wherever you want, which is obviously great. We do have only 3 of those cards, but we do have the Rescue Stretcher and the Super Rod to potentially get them back. We also have 3 of the Splash Energy, which when a water type Pokemon gets knocked out, you are able to return that Pokemon to your hand. And then of course the whole deck works thanks to Frogadier's water duplicates. The goal of the deck is to always turn to water duplicates. I did think about possibly using Tapu Lele and Wallies to try and get the turn 1 Frogadier, but having the EX threat, I guess, in the bench, not running DCE, so you really can't effectively attack with Tapu Lele. All of those things worked against Tapu Lele, Wally, and so I decided to go with the regular Ninja version. And as you can see, this is the Repeat Ball version. We do have 1 Repeat Ball, 2 Ultra Ball, and 4 Dive Ball, but we do have a single Talonflame. Now, why the single Talonflame? Everybody is running 4 nowadays. Well, 4 Froakie is really solid, and the latest, like the last few successful lists before Sun and Moon hit, for Greninja were not running Talonflame. They were running the Repeat Ball version. Now, 1 Talonflame means if you don't start Talonflame, it's just 1 dead card in the deck instead of 4, as would happen with the Talonflame version of the deck. But you still have a decent chance at starting with it, and if you don't, well, there's no real harm done to the deck's consistency. But if you do start the Talonflame, then things can get really going in your favor. As I talked about, new additions to the deck: Field Blower, obviously to remove tool cards from Garbodor, to activate your abilities once again, and also potentially remove Fighting Fury Belts to be able to access easier knockouts on the big EX Pokemon. You can also remove Spirit Links early on in the game and therefore prevent Mega Evolutions, but it's mostly there for Garbodor. Now, Garbodor, the new Garbodor is definitely gaining a lot of popularity. The Garbotoxin Garbodor is probably at its least popular stage since like this season. So maybe you don't even need the Field Blowers, but they're always, like, you would always run 1 at least in this deck. And then we have the triple Choice Band, because with that we're able to 2-hit KO things like the big EXs and GXs by using Moonlight Slash, or you can even Shadow Stitching for 70 damage and no abilities, so that's pretty nice. The rest is pretty standard for Sycamore: 3N, 1 Lysander, 1 Fisherman, 1 Ace Trainer, as expected. 2 Rough Seas. You could possibly use Brooklet Heal as well. That could be a decent enough inclusion to the deck. I feel like the healing from Rough Seas and Max Potion is quite important, because the format does seem to be slowing down a bit, so having free retreat, cycling, and healing seems pretty good. But you could definitely take out those cards if you don't feel like they're necessary, and put in like the Brooklet Heal for extra consistency, and perhaps another Lysander or something like that. And then we have our 4 Dive Ball, 2 Ultra Ball, 1 Repeat Ball. We have 1 Rescue Stretcher to immediately get back a Greninja, or potentially just shuffle back in extra pieces of the deck. And we have our 3 Splash and 6 Water Energy. So let's jump into the ladder and see if we can get something going. And as you can see from the other 2 deck boxes, tomorrow I will be using an updated TCG Vileplume with a few, very few, but a few inclusions to the deck, such as Tapu Lele and such as Field Blower. And then we're going to explore Trevenant Vileplume. So double Vileplume days ahead of us. I know a lot of you don't like Vileplume, but even if you don't like using the deck, it's great to understand how it works in order for you to be prepared to deal with it if you face off against it at a tournament. So yeah, hopefully Greninja can pull through for us. It's been a while since I've used the deck, and we'll see. We shall see. Now we will mulligan a lot, and we are up against a Umbreon GX deck. Umbreon GX should be a pretty good matchup for Greninja, I would say. Well, not with this hand and going second, because we do have the possibility of getting dunked, but oh well, yeah. Like, getting the 2 max potions here is pretty bad, along with 2 energy and 2 evolutions. But my opponent doesn't start too hot either. Well, there's a full stone, so never mind. There's the ultra. I guess we have the 50-50. We have the 50-50 flip to paralyze if we don't top deck out of this situation, or if my opponent doesn't play an N. There's a Shaymin EX, so my opponent starts not too hot either. He's Shaymin EXing for 3 cards, so he definitely doesn't have a supporter either. Otherwise, you would just go for the EV and use your supporter. But off of the Shaymin, he does hit the EV and potentially an energy. So there's a turn 1 Umbreon. There's a Choice Band, which obviously doesn't affect us. Wow, and there's a turn 1 Lily. So that Shaymin seems to have made my opponent's hand pretty incredible. And we might have to rely on bubble flips. And I mean, no matter how many new tool cards Greninja gets, this is an issue with Greninja, like the starts. Maybe I could be using the 4 Talonflame version, maybe not. This is really a bad start for us. Now, I do top deck the Sycamore. I feel like the max potions would have been really useful here, but we're not gonna get any use out of them. So hopefully Rofseas will be able to pull through for us. We actually top deck absolutely nothing. I'm gonna play the Field Blower just in case if he does have the escape rope or something. If I flip heads, then he has to find another Floatstone to retreat, and I flip tail. So now it's up to my opponent having the TCE for the win, which he obviously does. I mean, Sycamoring into 7 useless cards. Oh well. Yes, there's a lot of inconsistency in the Greninja deck, no matter how hard you try. But then there's also like the luck of the draw. And top decking the Sycamore right there. Oh well, we drew the late game cards in the early game, and all the early game cards we needed were still in the deck. So not much you can do about that. Hopefully the second game goes a little bit better. Now I did play a League Cup over the weekend, and I did not get points. I used Turbo Darkrai as my last attempt at the Primal Crash until Sun and Moon metagame, and I completely failed at getting points. Round 1 I played an Yveltal deck, which I beat fairly solidly. I mean, that is the expected. Wow, now we're up against Desi Drive. That is the expected outcome. But next round I did face Volcanion EX, which is usually a hard matchup, but this Volcanion EX had 1 Jolteon EX and Rainbow Energy. Why on earth you would do that? I have no idea, but like between that and the fact that I dead drew, I lost. if I hadn't been dead drawing, I mean, he had a lot of targets on the bench that I could have attacked myself in order to try and set up. But I wasn't able to do that. I really just wasn't able to do that, which was a bit unfortunate, honestly. It really was a bit unfortunate. But what will you do? I mean, he played the Jolteon and it worked out for him. And then in round 3, I faced the only Sidecard card jump deck, which, I don't know. I mean, you only play that deck to counter Turbo Darkrai. I was the only Turbo Darkrai in the field, so what are you gonna do? I got lucky to face him. I almost, like, I had the game. I think I had a chance in the game, but I also dead drew. Like, in rounds 2 and 3, I only played 1 supporter card total between both rounds, and then so I dead drew, and I still could have had a chance if only he hadn't played a Kukui and gotten the 2 cards he needed to beat me, which were a Strong Energy and the Rare Candy into Garchomp. Okay, so my opponent decided not to retreat, which I feel like is a big mistake. We're also able to use up our item cards, which we don't want to stack up against Trevenant. So this is Trevenant Decidueye Vileplume, interestingly enough. And if we get a bubble head flip, well, we don't, but it's not that big a deal, because now we force him to have an energy to retreat. There's the immediate counter stadium response, there's the energy, and there's the Sycamore. So my opponent trying to set up the Vileplumes. Well, the Vileplume, the Trevenant, we see at least a 3-3 line. A 3-3-3 line of the Decidueye. He even gets another Floatstone. He does get the Trevenant, and I do have 1 item card. So he's gonna knock me out because I'm weak. He is actually going to knock me out because I'm weak. If I didn't have the Max Potion, I would survive the hit. But it's okay. Still no Vileplume though. Interestingly enough, still no Vileplume. Losing the Froakie really does suck though. There's a Gloom. Are we gonna see a Revitalizer? Yep. So there's the Vileplume and at least a Dartrix. Possibly a Decidueye. Wow. Never mind. There's a Decidueye. And a Vileplume, I'm guessing. Okay, second Revitalizer. I did update the Decidueye deck, but I did not include Trevenant. Maybe I should be including it. It's an evolution line. He's playing at least a 2-2. Well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, 2 games, 1 dead draw and 1... Oh, it's for every trainer card, not item card. Whoops. Yeah, there's no way we win here, or we even have a chance. I guess. This is so bad. I mean, maybe Greninja just can't really compete. I don't know. I feel like against Garbodor you could compete. I feel like against Ninetales you could compete. Definitely not against this deck though. So if this deck is going to be popular, maybe not so much. Well, maybe we have a chance to deck my opponent out. Probably not really. He still has a ton of energy available to him. The double ability onto 1 Frogadier, which seems weird, as obviously that's the one I'm going to promote here. And evolve in order to prevent the knockout. We do get back the Froakie and the Frogadier, but since I'm gonna Sycamore anyways, because I need the energy, I lose the Frogadier. So the splash energy doesn't really become useful at all, and I get a pretty bad hand. A pretty awful hand. No other Greninja, no other supporter. And I might as well just concede, guys, because there's no point. There's no way we win or even have a chance. So yeah, I mean, there's not much I could do there. The C-Drive Album Trevenant. It's an interesting choice, I guess. I feel like I would prefer Valplum, Trevenant, Garbodor, because either they hold the item cards or they discard them, but you punish them either way. And you have the Psychic Energy for the break and Garb. I don't know. These hands, man. Yeah, seriously. There's a reason I stopped playing Greninja, and yeah, there's just you need to draw the things in the right order. If you don't, you're in a pretty bad spot, which is exactly what's going on here. And we see exactly the Garbodor Phantom deck. The Garbodor Trevenant, possibly Valplum deck as well. Okay, so because of the possibility of the Valplum, gonna immediately Dive Ball for the Frogadier, gonna bench the Froakie, and I'm gonna pass. Strictly speaking, I should have used the Seeker for possibly Fisherman. You do see a Psychic Energy, so he might Acid Spray my energy away. That would be bad. Well, not bad, but not ideal. Emma 1988. And yeah, guys, we just reached 1 million views on the channel, so huge thank you guys to you. Like, you're the reason I've reached 1 million views, and you guys are so awesome for helping me achieve that. Thank you so much. I was ecstatic the day I got to that, and yeah, there will be a celebratory live stream. Wow. There will be a celebratory live stream on Twitch. I want to say it'll be on the 25th of May because that's also my birthday. So that should be fun, and I'll try to stream for like a longer period of time, like 6 hours, 8 hours, and all the stream will be playing against you guys. I'll be switching around decks. I might do VGC as well, like on Showdown, to play against other people. The stream will be bilingual because I can't do 2 celebrations, so I'll be switching between languages. It might be messy, it might not be. I hope you guys make it, and it should be fun. It should definitely be fun. And what else? So yeah, follow me on twitch.tv. I do want to get back to streaming once again. I know I've been really bad at it lately, but I do want to get back into it. So yeah, hopefully you guys tune in on that day, and yeah, I look forward to it. I'm actually really excited to be doing that. Okay, so double Acid Spray for my opponent. 1, 2, that's fine. I can Dive Ball once. There's 1 Greninja prized, and there's no breaks prized. And we have to top deck a supporter card. The Phantoms have 60 HP. Okay, so we can get potentially double knockouts. As long as we find a few more energy. Now, I'm not using the other Dive Ball to find another Greninja to evolve, simply because if he Lysanders a Frogadier, I mean, you would normally Lysander Froggy, but if he Lysanders a Frogadier, I can just Dive Ball and evolve that Greninja in order to prevent that. Well, this is not good. There's the Trevenant. I'm guessing he has the DC, so he will take a knockout. Okay, so maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have evolved into the other Greninja. Probably should have done that. Well, he still needs the DC. Oh, wow, there's Shaman. Maybe I should have used Shadow Stitching instead. Maybe I should have used Shadow Stitch instead. Okay, missed his determination. In a 30 card deck, he has yet to see a TCG. He will for sure grab the TCG here. There's no way he doesn't hit a TCG. Wow, there's actually one in the discard pile. Floatstone, and there's the TCG. Yep. Oh boy. We are in a lot of trouble here, guys. A lot of trouble. I mean, I need to get something off of this trainer's mail urgently. Urgently. If I had used up my item cards, I would have survived the hit, even with my prize card, because I would have only had the trainer's mail, which I hit off of my prize cards. Gonna Super Rod back the Frogadier, the Greninja, and the Break. And off of the trainer's mail, I will hit a Field Blower, which, I mean, might as well. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oof, boy. Okay, do I go for the... Do I try for the bubble flip? Do I just hope he doesn't have Lysander? Do I keep the energy? I think I'm keeping the energy. Oh boy, if he has Lysander, this is game. If he has Lysander, then this is game. Yeah, maybe I should have played more conservatively. Okay, but he doesn't knock me out. Never mind, it's not game. I was sure it was game. Field Blowers away my Choice Band. Yeah, the issue is the follow-up Garb. That is by far the biggest issue here. Okay, getting that Greninja is actually pretty nice. And I will Giant Water Shuriken the active, and I'm hoping to draw an energy off of this Sycamore. And not too many unplayable item cards. Okay, so I do get the energy. And I will also heal myself. And the Choice Band I will attach to this guy. I will also search for Greninja or Frogadier. Yeah, Greninja is fine. So, but I have 3 though. So that means Greninja is definitely going down. So yeah, there's no point in not using the energy. I only had 2, there is a chance I could have gotten an item card from my prize cards, and nope. So that's too bad. I don't get to survive the next hit. I actually don't get to survive the next hit. The biggest issue is my opponent actually does have N support or N endurance with the Oranguru. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if I didn't have 3, there would have been a case to just Shadow Stitch instead of taking a knockout. Oh boy, there's a Wally into Garb. Yeah, my opponent is just way too efficient. Way too efficient. He's way too energy efficient. And Garbodor plus Trevenant, that's a pretty good combination, honestly. Pretty good combination. Okay, another water. That means we do get a knockout on the active. And yeah, Garbodor is a bigger threat than Trevenant because we can potentially manipulate the damage Trevenant does, but we really can't manipulate the damage Garbodor does at this point in time. Okay. So this is a pretty okay hand, actually. This is a pretty okay hand. Ultra Ball. See, the issues are my prize cards. Do I really need to Ultra Ball away both? Like everything? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the N and the max potion. See, then I'm out of Greninja breaks. Okay, I have to hope I don't. I have to hope I either don't get an item, a trainer card from my prize cards. Please don't. No. Okay, so now Trevenant does knock me out. Or that he didn't have Garbodor, but both work. Darn. Okay, we might have to Shadow Stitch next turn. We might actually have to Shadow Stitch next turn. Man, this is getting real difficult. Okay, there's the Garbodor, so my opponent probably not wanting to risk. And that means I cannot... Okay, he will end me. Well, that's pretty bad. Wait, I'm ahead in prize cards? How am I ahead in prize cards? Yeah, he's going to end me. That's pretty bad. But yeah, that means he doesn't have to risk. I only need 2 energy though. If I hit 2 energy to knock out the Garb, oh. Wow, that's pretty bad. Well, no, it's actually not bad. Okay, there's a Trash Avalanche. So I need 2 energy to knock out the Garb, and I need a way to prevent my opponent from, like, to prevent a knockout from the Trevenant. I hit the energy, which is great. I will Rescue Stretcher and shuffle 3 Pokemon back into my deck. A Greninja, a Break, and a Frogadier, because I could still get the Greninja off of my prize cards. I will play the Field Blower. Garbodor is knocking me out in 1 hit anyways. And I should be thinning out my deck a lot and getting closer to the Sycamore here. I mean to the Lysander. Okay, so wait, what? Oh, I'm ahead in prize cards. I'm actually ahead in prize cards. Oops. So I can't use the Ace Trainer. Didn't hit a Seeker, didn't hit an N. Well, there's only one N. There's a VS Seeker, Lysander, and that's game. That is game, pretty much. There's no humanly possible way that I knock out the Garbodor this upcoming turn. I don't even have Lysander to do anything at all. I mean, well, I guess it's not strictly game, but it's probably game. It probably is game with this hand I just drew. One Lysander, 2 VS Seekers. Yeah, he will have the Lysander every time here. So, there's still 1 Greninja in my deck for sure. This is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. Man, Garbodor, Trevenant. That definitely seems worth exploring. Maybe even over Trevenant Vileplume. Because, yeah, you punish if they hold, you would punish if they use. And you're just so cost effective. Maybe I would want to play Gumshoos GX though. A 1/1 Gumshoos GX line so you can look at your opponent's hand and determine what's the best course of action. Oh, 360 damage. 360 damage. Okay. Okay, I top deck the card I might have needed. So I have a chance. I definitely still have a chance. It all depends on what I draw off of the end. Because I will end to get my opponent down to 1 card. And that means I only get 3. I get 2. Okay, I'm gonna knock out with Shadow Stitching. That eliminates Oranguru as a threat. But if I hit an item card here, which I don't, I actually hit the Greninja. Okay, so my opponent needs a Psychic Energy to knock me out this turn. That's the only way he knocks me out. And then I can't double break the Shaman. I only have 1 break left. No, I have 2, but I can't use them both. So I would need to top deck Lysander and an Energy, which I obviously can't. Oh, if you hit a Psychic Energy here, that's game. That's pretty ridiculous, honestly. End to 1, and he hits Floatstone and Sycamore. That's honestly pretty ridiculous. Okay. See, the thing is, if he benches something else and I had the Lysander, I would be okay. Okay, so he's 10 damage short. I don't have Lysander, do I? No, I really don't. Okay. So I'm gonna see, the thing is, maybe I'm better off not playing. No, I am better off playing the cards. And I definitely have to Shadow Stitch here once again. Okay, this is perfect. Then I retreat here. I cannot not Shadow Stitch. Yeah, Shadow Stitching is good. The issue is next turn. He needs a Psychic Energy. He's used 3. Probably runs 4, maybe 5. Wow, this actually turned out to be a pretty good game. Oh, come on. Why? That is so unfair. End to 1 twice, hit the Sycamore twice. And he had the Lysander every time and blah blah. Anyways, guys, Greninja, I mean, you struggle the whole game. You're always going to struggle. I wish we had faced like more standard decks like Sylveon or Ninetales. We faced some pretty terrible matchups. Garbodor and Trevenant are both punish Greninja's playstyle heavily, but there's not much I could do about that. So yeah, try out Greninja if you want. I mean, it is a relatively cheap deck to build. Maybe try Brooklet Hill instead of Rough Seas. I did say the format slowed down a bit, and then Garbodor is dealing 400 damage. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you can. We're trying to reach 100 likes on every video, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the updated TCG Vileplume list with Tapu Lele, and then we are going to have Trevenant Vileplume. And then on Thursday, we'll likely have a review of what happened at the last expanded regionals for the season, at the last expanded tournament of the season. And yeah, hopefully you guys will be able to join in on the Twitch live stream celebrating 1 million views and celebrating my birthday as well. Thank you guys, and bye-bye.